Hello there guys, welcome back to this channel, and if you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe and follow me on my Instagram, which is @ianashfaq. Now let's get straight into the video. I am going to be making three very different backgrounds for your art journal. So for this first one, you need poster color paints. You can choose whatever color you like, and then you need a brush. And in the end, you need a palette, which is a lot deeper because we're going to be making solutions of the paints we use. Now, first things first, I placed thick cardboard or watercolor sheets under the page I was going to paint on, because I did not want any paint to seep through the rest of my sketchbook and ruin it. So yeah, first things first, I had a protective covering under my pages. Then I went ahead and poured all of my desired colored paints into separate little pockets of the palette so that later on I could fill them with water and create solutions to be used later on. I went for very spring-like colors, very bright and neon-like. So you can choose whatever color you like, but I wanted to personally go for more brighter and splashier and more just like spring themed. So that's why I chose the colors you see. Now the thing is that you don't want to put too much paint, because then the solution would be a lot thicker and it would take a lot of time to dry. So what we're going to do is that we're going to take almost equal amounts of water and paint, but just a little more paint so that it's not too runny or too liquidy. And also make sure to clean your brush after dipping it into every other paint, because we don't want muddy colors, or we just don't want muddy colors. So clean your brush after every dip. And I'm very aware of the fact that my brush wasn't clean enough and this neon pinky color got a little bit ruined, but don't worry, it didn't got ruined that much, so we can bear with it. Now, after the solutions are all made, what you're going to do is you're going to load your brush with one color at a time and then splash it or tap it like I am doing it onto the entire surface. Now, the whole point of this is to be very unproportionate and all over the place and messy. So what you want to do is do as much as you want it to be. Don't do it just because I'm doing it. If you don't want to be too messy, don't put a lot of paint. But if you're like me and you want a lot of paint, a lot of messiness, so keep layering the paint one by one. Also, one more thing, the splashes are going to be very unpredictable, so at some points the two colors might mix together to form a third color, so that will make it even nicer. And again, after splashing each color, you might want to just wash your brush, give it a good clean for the next paint, because then otherwise, if you don't do that too much, the splashes don't look as bright and the colors might just get a little bit muddy. So I would prefer to clean it once in a while, but during the middle of the process, just skip it once, because then different colors can be formed as well. As you can see, I went for a numerous amount of layers, but if you wanted to keep it a bit more toned down, use less layers, of course, and just keep doing it until you're happy with it, basically. So when you're happy with what you've done or achieved, let it dry for at least half an hour. Mine took at least half an hour, so I'm saying that. And after it's all dry, it will look something like this. Now, as you can see, it looks really nice. I personally like it. And this is like close-up detail of what you will get in the end. Now let's get to the second background. Again, I put thick cardboard sheets or any watercolor sheet, any thick sheet basically, you know, just to prevent any leakage of the paint underneath, and then your entire sketchbook will be ruined basically. So this step is crucial. Okay, so for this background, you need a flat brush like this one and a bunch of acrylic paints, any color of your own choice. So what you're going to do is that you're going to let your brush be dry the entire time and go in one motion swipes across the entire surface, and basically you will get this dry brush effect. Now once in a while you can go the opposite direction, but just once in a while, okay? And you can do this for how many times you like until you're happy with what you've got. And for me, I did a ton of layers, as you know what I did previously. I like using a ton of layers. So yeah, just do it until you're happy with it. One tip that I would like to give you guys is to use contrasting colors to get more of a, you know, like a contrast in the background. Because if all the colors are of the same tone, then you won't get a good cool effect. So yeah, use contrasting colors for the ultimate like contrasty effect. And then after, when you're done with what you want to get, let it dry for at least half an hour. And yeah, at least half an hour, because it usually takes half an hour, and this is how it will look in the end. Now let's get to the third and final background. Now for this one, you need only one color, preferably a darker color or whatever color you want, and a cling film or food wrap, whatever you call it. Now what you want to do is roll up the cling film in a very rough ball shape. And yeah, then you're going to take a dry brush. We're not going to wet it at all, and we're going to load up our paintbrush with that paint and very lightly place it on the cling film, like paint it very lightly. And then you just really want to touch the surface of the cling film to the surface of the paper very lightly to get a very nice texture. You can also use a bunch of colors in this technique as well, but because the other two backgrounds were very colorful, I wanted to do something very monotone and very dark black. So yeah. Again, just keep doing it until you reach to the desired amount of effect you want. But keep in mind, don't do it a bit too much, because then the texture will be lost and you will be left with one plain color, if you know what I mean. So So this is how this turned out in the end, a little close up to show you how it looked. Now, if you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe, give it a big thumbs up, and comment down below whatever you want to comment. Until then, I'll see you later in my next video. Take care. Oh, perfect.